Now I'd like to show you another online operation, online table move. This was introduced in 12.2, and it also requires, like the other online operation, that you have Enterprise Edition. In this example, I'm moving a table online into the user's tablespace. It is an online operation, so you can still do selects on the table, and you can even do DML, insert and delete on the table, while the database is moving it to another tablespace. At the very end of the operation, when the database has completed the move into the new tablespace, it needs to take a very short lock on the table in order to complete the transition. But other than that, it is fully online and you can use the table as if nothing is happening to it. If you want the move to happen a little faster, you can do it in parallel by adding a parallel clause to the statement. Now the parallel clause on the move operation only applies to the move itself. It doesn't change the default parallel degree on the table, so you shouldn't worry that all of a sudden now your selects will happen in parallel as well. No. Parallel on a move operation only applies to the move itself. Now I've talked about moving the table into a different tablespace, but actually you can use the command to change the physical storage layout of the table. So this means that you can also use the same command to, for instance, compress your table online or uncompress if you want to go the other way around. Or you can combine it. So you move the table into a new tablespace, and in the same operation, you do compression or change other physical layouts as well. It works on tables, but it also works on partitions and even subpartitions. Something you need to be aware of is that when you use alter table move, it invalidates the statistics. So once you have moved the data into a new tablespace, you should gather new statistics. Now, in addition to that, the row IDs are changing. So if your application is relying on the row IDs, not many do, but be aware, row IDs, they are actually changing. Now I have a demo where I can show you how we can change the physical layout of a table while we're using it. So let's see how it works. I have my lots of data table, which is stored in the user's tablespace, and it's not compressed. I want to change that, so I use alter table move online into a new tablespace, and I'm also compressing it. While that happens, in another session, I'm inserting data into the table. It still works. And I could even query the data, do full table scans, or I can do parallel queries on the table. It still works. And at the very end, I can verify that the table is now moved to a different tablespace and compressed. So it's very simple, it's very easy, and it's even online to change the physical layout of your tables. But it also works on partition tables. I've mentioned that before, but you can even convert a regular heap table into a partition tables. In this example, I'm taking a regular heap table and converting it into a hash partition table. I've used the online clause, so the database will do it all online. I can still use the table even though it's being converted. And because I'm using the update indexes clause, I can here specify what should happen to the indexes that are on the table. In this example, I have a regular unique index on the table, and I decide to change that into a global index on my new partition tables. You can convert your table into any kind of partition table except reference partitioning. That's not supported. And just as a reminder, remember that if you are using hash partitioning, you should have the number of hash partitions be equal to something that is the power of 2. I've prepared a demo that shows you how you can easily convert a regular table into a partition table. So let's see how it works. I have my lots of data table, which is not partitioned. And I want to change that. So I use the alter table command to modify it into a hash partitioned tables. It should be online. And I decide to update my existing indexes into a global index. While that happens, in another session, I'll insert some data into lots of data. And I can even query the table. I can do parallel query on the table while it's being converted to a partition table. And after that, when I query DBA tab partitions, I now have 8 partitions. So, very simple. If you're an enterprise edition with the partitioning option, you can convert your regular tables into partition tables. You can keep the indexes, convert them to either global or local indexes, and it's an online operation, so you can still use the table while it's being changed by the database. Now, how cool is that?